Hello friends of Tony's Garden, welcome to another video where today I am going to explain to you a new concept that perhaps for money is unknown but very interesting. We are talking about staggered planting. Why should we do it and what are the benefits of doing it? In this case, I have here the pak choy bed, which is one of the latest crops I'm recording for the channel. I'll leave a link in case you want to take a look. It is really a very interesting crop, but today we are going to understand why we do staggered planting, why we should do it with certain crops and with others not. And look, here we have a clear example of staggered planting. These 4 lines are the first ones planted a month ago. Then we have this here planted 15 days ago. And these here were planted 1 week ago. Now we would have to plant again here. In this space we have left 2 or 3 lines to have crops again. What does staggered planting mean? Well, basically that we are planting little by little. These crops have about 2 weeks left before they can be harvested. Then once we harvest our crops, we plant new pak choy again. So, while those pak choy are growing, the next ones will be almost ready to harvest in such a way that these will already be mature and these will be growing. Why do we use this system? Well, it's very simple. Basically, to avoid having the entire harvest all at once. Right now we have about 15 pak choy. I don't remember the exact number, but it's not important. Ready to harvest. So I will be consuming this pak choy with my family while the others are developing. If I had grown them all at once on the same bed, right now I would have the whole harvest to collect, which would be a bit overwhelming in the sense that we would have a ton of pak choy that we would need to consume in a very short time. And then sow again and wait another month and a half for the pak choy to be ready. In this way, we will gradually be cultivating, harvesting, and consuming pak choy throughout all the months of autumn and winter. Thus, this planting will be carried out with crops such as cabbages, for example, or also cauliflowers, broccoli, all these types of crops where in the end we cut the mother plant to consume. It is ideal what we do with them. Whether sowing or planting them in stages, this way when we are harvesting some, the others will continue developing. As I tell you, crops that we usually consume the whole plant. I give you more examples. Apart from cabbage, broccoli, and all this lettuce, for instance, if we don't consume it. Leaf by leaf, ideally, we also do staggered planting or sowing. We will be harvesting lettuces while the others are developing and growing. We'll do it with endives. We'll do it with spinach. We'll do it with beets as well, for example. So we don't have the entire harvest at once. It wouldn't be necessary to do it with fruit crops. For example, it could be the tomato or the eggplant. It would not be necessary. Although it would be interesting in the case of tomatoes or eggplants to do 2 sowings or 2 plantings. One at the beginning of spring and another at the end of spring, depending a bit on our climate. This way, we can ensure a longer harvest of crops. In the end, it's simply about thinking when we are planting our crops. Thinking if everything will come all at once, and if we will be able to consume it, or if we will have to freeze it, or if it will overwhelm us. So I want to really show you what this bed is like. So you can see that in the end, the difference is quite staggering. Also, remind you that the seed bed is the same. Simply, a plant with more space will eventually develop much more than if it is in the seed bed or under adequate conditions. Fruit-bearing plants, we won't do it, but for plants where we harvest almost the entire plant, it's definitely interesting to do staggered planting. And now I'm going to plant the rest of the pak choy here. As I say, it is the season, it's time. Time has passed. And I think we will harvest those in a week. And notice that all the pak choy plants planted in that bed are from this seed bed. Here, as you can see, they develop much less because they do not have the space or the necessary conditions, but they are the same plants sown at the same time. And some are almost ready to harvest, and these to plant. And this is important to understand because sometimes we think we have to make seed beds continuously, and yet, as you see, this seed bed is the same from the start. So it's not that we need to make many seed beds, but gradually sow what we have in our nursery. Plan what we will need, and from there, cultivate it. So that's it. Huertonianos, a short video like the one on fall sowing. Concepts that seem very interesting to me when cultivating in our garden, so that we don't have surprises, so that it doesn't happen to you like it did to me when I started and knew nothing. Understand that it is simply about staggered planting. Basically, it's so that we don't have the entire harvest all at once. Be careful. If we have the entire garden bed cultivated and have people or family with whom we're going to share all the crops, we can actually plant the entire garden bed. But if it is for us, if it is for a family, it is important that we do it in a staggered manner. Remember that in the video description, I leave you a link to a WhatsApp channel where I will be posting all the videos we upload on Thursdays, since YouTube lately does not notify about the video uploads, and you cannot miss any of them. So that's it, garden lovers. I hope you liked the video, especially that it helped you in your garden. And we'll see you next Thursday on the channel La Huertina De Toni. See you later.